Hello there. I'm Shaun McLaren, and I'd like to personally thank you for welcoming me into your home for a little cube draft. If this is your first time, please feel free to follow along at home. Let's join and see what our first pack is. Wow, that's lovely, isn't it? So many vibrant colors, and even some cards without colors at all. Something for everyone. Cube is really an expression of who you are. You get to really express yourself while you're playing. So we're going to just pick a card that represents us here and craft our deck around what we're feeling. So just run the mouse over the cards, get a feel for them, get a sense of what you're feeling. You know what? I've been having a little stress in my life lately, so I think I'm gonna take out the frustration by picking opposition, which is really a card that really conflicts with the opponent. So I'm going to represent that by taking opposition. It's also a blue card, so we're going to just put a little blue there, put a little blue into our deck, maybe just mix the opposition around, swirl it around. Alright. Master of Waves, maybe to continue the blue theme would be nice. There's also this nice little bird. That's a nice little picture of a bird. I like that bird. There's also hornets, bees. Hornets, not bees. You know what? Let's go with the Hornet Queen. Just because it works with our first card here, we're gonna get some nice little green colors in there. Sometimes you need to find the right shade, pick out the palette. Got a nice bluish green going now, so that's looking very good. Really excellent start to our draft. But you know, it's hard to not have an excellent start to the draft. You know, we can continue with a blue enchantment or maybe a little fixing. You know, it's good to get some lands in there with your deck pretty early on. Lands are really important to cube drafting. But you know what? We're going to take the land. That's right. We're in control here. You get to draft whatever you want, and no one else can tell you what to draft. Because it's your draft. You're the creator and you can do it. Alright, this is a sort of a little lacking pack, but you know, you can find beauty in even the worst looking pack. So we're going to take the Overgrown Battlement here, which is a green card. So that's lovely. There's some happy little trees, aren't they? Aren't those happy little trees? Good with opposition, so that's good. We're gonna just grow some little trees and add some green mana. I think that's gonna be very nice. This deck is really looking nice now. Look at this lovely little curve. Alright. There's some more good green cards, and green is one of the most vibrant colors. So we're going to add some more green colors to our palette here. It's just a matter of choosing which one we want to add. Which of these elves we're in the mood for, or a merfolk. You know what? Let's go with Devoted Druid. That's nice. Oh, Jace. Jace is a great card. Every Jace is a lovely Jace. So we're going to take Jace Architect of Thought here and just add it to our deck. Just gently put it in the 4-drop slot. Gently. And you'll notice we're getting a little built up in the 4-drop slot. That's not a bad thing though. We don't mind that. Alright, here we could take Oath of Nissa, which is going to help us cast our planeswalkers and find our planeswalkers. Hopefully we'll get some more. There's also Precursor Golem, which works great with opposition. Or we could branch out into another color, you know. In Cube Draft it's nice to get some other colors going. But here I think we'll just take the Oath of Nissa. It's good to pause and just take a look at your deck and see where it's headed every once in a while. This deck's looking nice. Here, let's go with Whisperwood Elemental. Good with opposition. And here's a pretty poor looking pack, but this is a happy little tree. That's a happy big tree, I would say, which is fine. Nothing wrong with making a little big happy tree. So let's get that fixing in there. Oh my. More excellent fixing, and look at that. 2 trees. Wow. That's the great thing about Magic. Lots of trees in the art. That's a lot of trees. That is a lot of trees. You know what? We're gonna just cultivate with the Bloom Tender here, though. And nothing in our colors here, but let's branch out with Parallax Wave. Sure. Feeling like a little angel isn't bad here. Alright. Another pack. It's another opportunity for great cards. You can really start to fill out your deck in the second pack and make things start looking beautiful. Here, we're going to take Ugin, I think. Just a very powerful effect. Good to ramp into. Nice little 8-drop for our deck here. And that's nice. That feels good. I like that. There's really no pressure. You can do no wrong when you're drafting Cube here. It's your choice what you want to make of your deck. And here we're going to continue with some card draw. Ancestral. I feel like that card draw is going to fit our deck really nicely. So we're just going to put that here, down near the end. Okay. An elf fits the deck quite nicely. This is looking to be like a lovely green deck that's really freeing. I can feel the freedom. I can feel the freedom in the deck here. And that's just a great curve. We're going to get rid of the white cards for now, because it looks like we aren't playing them yet. Isn't Cube just fun? It's really just a lot of fun. I've got a happy deck. Some nice little ramp. And some nice fatty creatures. And planeswalkers too. It's really just a well-balanced deck. And we're just going to mix it all together and make sure it's excellent. Here we could do a little splash with Garruk, which would be a nice addition to the deck, a great planeswalker. Sower of Temptation would be okay as well. You know what? I think we're going to go with the Garruk. I like it. That feels right. Here's a little pack that doesn't really have anything we want, but you know, it's just a temporary setback. There are no mistakes. There are no bad packs. We're gonna make the best of the situation. Just take Riftwing's Cloudskate. More ramp. Seems good. Don't mind that. There's nothing that says you can't have a bunch of mana acceleration. In fact, it's encouraged. Even if it's off color, that's still alright. Just make sure, if you're drafting along at home, that you're really enjoying your draft. And if it's not turning out the way you wanted it to, just go ahead and start taking the cards that are going to make you happy, because that's what's important with a cube draft. So far, I'm happy with my deck here, and it's only going to continue to improve, and we're only going to get better as we continue drafting. That's the great thing about Magic. Here's a lovely pack with a bunch of different options for us. Let's go with the Mystic Snake. Gonna be great disruption and just a powerful card. Good with opposition as well. Okay. Here we have Threads of Disloyalty, which is one of my favorite cards. There's also Whirler Rogue, which is gonna go well with opposition, but you know what? I'm feeling like Threads of Disloyalty is what I'm gonna want here, because that's the card that's gonna suit me best right now. Here we could go with Xenagos, which is a red card. We don't have much red yet, but there's nothing wrong with splashing a little red all over our deck. Could also go with Legacy's Allure, which is a powerful effect, given enough time. Let's go with a little splash. Alright, more lovely little options here. Could go with Phantasmal Image or some fixing. Or even Fauna Shaman would be nice. Let's go with Phantasmal Image. You know what? We could go with the red fixing, but I'm going to take the Dragonlord Silumgar here, since we also have black cards. Yeah, just port, in case we want a little disruption. And now let's see what the third pack has. Hope everyone's enjoying the draft. And enjoying any drafts you're doing at home. We can really go anywhere from here and do anything we want with our deck. Another Planeswalker, very powerful, good to ramp into. I think we'll just go with Garruk here. Focusing heavily on the Planeswalkers, and there's nothing wrong with that, because That's what we want for our deck. Just a nice little curve here. Nice little ridges that we can follow and see the lovely melding of colors. The blue and the green go really nicely together for a tranquil deck that I'm a big fan of. Okay, some nice options. Bunch of powerful 6-drops. Consecrated Sphinx is very powerful if you can get its effect off. And then we have Edric, which is pretty good with our mana elves, but maybe not necessary. And then there's the solid Preordain, which would just tie our deck together nicely, which might be the pick here. The question is, do we have enough of a top end, or do we want to focus on the bottom end? You know what? I'm going to take the Preordain. And that's nice. That looks good. Here we have Craterhoof if we want late game again, or Sylvan Caryatid if we want some fixing. We might just want the fixing here. It seems like this deck doesn't necessarily need this big Craterhoof blotting out the sky, trampling our happy little trees. You know what? I don't like this card. And that's okay, we don't have to take it. Look at these poor innocent trees. But you know what? That's a good looking tree. I wouldn't mind taking that tree and putting it in my deck. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's nice. Just fits in there really nicely. I like that. Here, have some nice options. Master of the Wild Hunt really represents how we're masters of our deck and masters of what we do in our lives. All we have to do is choose what we want to choose. So you know what? We're going to be masters of our draft and take Master of the Wild Hunt. Here we have some nice green cards and blue cards. Factor Fiction is nice, but so is Garruk. You know what? Can't have too many Garruks. This is a Garruk themed deck. So we're going to add a bit more green. And another Planeswalker fits in perfectly with opposition especially. So let's go ahead and put Nissa in our deck as well. This is looking really nice now. Fortunately, this pack doesn't really add much. We're going to take something though. Even though we don't really need anything from this pack. Let's go with Stomping Ground, just in case we want that fixing. Which maybe we do, because there's Bloodbraid Elf, which is a really powerful card. That we're going to go ahead and take. Here we could take a little burn, or Eldrazi Monument. Let's go with the flow, though. It's always good to go with the flow. Here we could take Edric, or a little Disruption, in case our opponent is trying to combo us off. Let's go with that. Siege Gang Commander. Good if we're interested in embracing our red splash. over the black splash. You know what? Let's go for it. There's Koth. Or Looter. Koth isn't going to be very good in our deck without many mountains. Let's go with the Looter. Alright, I'm liking this deck. It looks beautiful. Now let's just fill in the rest of the deck. Just go over it, make sure we have everything the way we want it. We definitely have a lot of nice little tree cards, nice little green cards, so that's nice. It's always tough making cuts, because you want to play with all your nice little cards, but you gotta make cuts sometimes. That's just how life works. Sometimes you have to make a few sacrifices to get exactly what you want in every way. This is looking good though. I'm happy with this deck, and I think it's gonna bring us a lot of fun when we play our games. Remember, it's not about winning or losing. Banefire would also be a good option, but it doesn't really work with our Bloodbraid Elf. So we're gonna focus on our Bloodbraid Elf instead of the Banefire. This is looking good. We only have 15 lands, which isn't terrible since we have so many accelerators. It's possible we want to get rid of this for another land, but it is one of our few removal spells. Nine green sources, not bad. I think this is looking good, so I think we're going to submit it. And you know what? We're still not done. We still have sideboarding. We can make up any changes we want based on how our deck performs or how we're feeling. So I think we're just going to submit and go on to our match. So I'll see you then if you'd care to join me. Maybe you're too busy playing your own cube deck. So I'll see you then.